Howdy, howdy. Let's get the music up to a good level. There we go, that should be fine. How is everyone? I totally wasn't doing MSQ until the last minute. MSQ roulette. Levelin, that samurai. It's been fun. Yeah, Ravio, you weren't there. You don't know. You were just in the voice call. Let's see. Oh. There you go. Nice and covered. You can see my dungeon. You can hear though? Yeah, but you didn't know. You weren't a part of our party chat either. Yes, that's oh, starting my favorite part, the first voice lines. Oh, Peter weapon. 5. There you are, feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studio as it happens. I wanted to try and speak to Scholark Montashane and thank him for coming to our rescue in Rostra. I'm gonna turn the music down just a little. Ravio discrimination. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us, following the hearing, only to find we had already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Yishtola and the others, I thought now is the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Ravio, don't use that face right now. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alpino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go ahead to the phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. Y'all. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Y'all are the worst. I'm gonna talk to Grok. Unlike some of the Scions, I am not an alumni of the studium. As such, I have no acquaintances there. I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pore over the many great tombs of Phenomenon, I fear my presence there would stir more unwanted trouble. So, for now, I will be patient, much as it pains me to do so. DJ... They and Alphino... Oh, Alphino. You having fun with your things? I kinda want to try Sage. Heard it's fun. If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, so can I. Now for a stroll. Scholark himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all the people worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater no less, will wonders never cease? You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Been a while since you've seen Alize. Yeah, she doesn't appear much in A Realm Reborn. She appears in Heaven's Word in a bit. Oh, you got to... Yeah, you met OG Graha. Just a cutie. Yeah, only in the Bahamut raid quest until a certain point in Heaven's Word. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? Kind of. That's the mark of Thaliak, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlian himself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in the studium. Feels like only yesterday I first walked through these doors. Okay, let's go, Cryo. Here it is. Phenomenon. Well, I expect you made note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you'd been here on official business, correct? Most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums. It also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of aetherological phenomenon, hence the name. Though with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of Sixth Astral Era, phenomenon was decreed complete, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as entirely and foremost educational. By giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech, such as his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was a top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, and from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I'm certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. I'm glad, Alice. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing, remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leveille began. Everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a little bit of luck, our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first. For Scholar Montachane, other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Yes, they seem to study the life universe and everything in Gnome Homes. Also, how was D&D, Ravio? Sorry I didn't ask earlier. No left. And Baldessian's granddaughter only mean one thing: an event, epoch shattering, fast. Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the scholar. Yes, knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Alipo should have a better idea. Hot dwarfs that could turn invisible and grow to normal medium size. Ooh, so they got enlarged, reduced in invisibility. It's nice. And Alphino is popular. Bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time abroad has only heightened his fame. That be infamy. Yet his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave that up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Wow, Alphino. Spoke to me. Alphino itself in the... Jeez, Alphino, you really are famous here. Oh. Let's see. Let me try fixing the voice thing. It could be my filter is being a bit too strong, even though it's set to the same it was last week. How about now? We'll keep an eye on it. I assure you, I'll tell you all about it after my business with the Skulk has concluded. Skulk, tell me, my dear have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Master Leveille's graduation thesis? I, too, have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. Is it true that your experiences overseas are the reason you have incurred the ire of the Forum? Oh, what I wouldn't give to you butt heads with those old codgers. So, the barbarian couldn't be charmed, and y'all were resistant to cold. So y'all were just like, nah, bruh. Are you lost? Wandering off the street? Me glean fresh off the guild ship. Oh, an orientation to the norm. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to the Searcher's Meet. Let me adjust my mic real fast. Start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here in Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we'll send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pysa this, Tongue of Giant Toad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. I've tracked out many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. Oh, so you're telling me you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a scholark. I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock. Oh, but I can't. Oh, you mean him. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts. Home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. In the time it's taken me to tell you all this, the scholark has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. See. No, still being harassed. Either in this room. There they are. Yes, the scholar was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. He spoke at length. I don't recall mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor. Perhaps to one of the auditoriums? The lookout? Oh, sorry, I had to look at a thing real fast. Playing hide and seek with a scholar, huh? Yep.
Ah, I remember you.
This guy's cool. Going back to school? I mean,
I pray we have not
maybe one
caught you
day.
at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
I don't think Zora has any formal education.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student.
Oh no, I think part of the whole reason I'm a Dark Knight is because I lost patience.
Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
I mean, I don't think I'm that much older than them.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Like a magic contract thing where you can't speak about it. Your tongue is literally tied.
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please,
Magic.
take a seat.
I like that they actually go into it in this game, though, and it's just like, thanks. Yeah, Monteshane's cool. I'm glad he's actually open about things. He's like, yeah, I can't fucking tell you. Here's why. I still have my sword in class. This reminds me of when I had like a PowerPoint presentation from Urianger and Menphilia about the nature of souls.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms.
Emotional support sword. I mean, it's got a soul of an Assy in it, so...
2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the 3rd?
Corporeal aether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, This form of ether is in constant flux.
Giant desks. I've seen some pretty big desks at my university.
In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Jump to the... And I need to brush up on my Eorzean script.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
I mean, I have small desks at my high school, but in college, there are some big desks, depending on the area in which I was having a class. Loves using his magic hand.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh umbral calamity.
Yes,
The
we're all...
people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
Oh, it's definitely possible it's deliberate. If they're gonna mention that it's deliberate or not, I'm gonna go with deliberate, because I didn't even think that it'd be possible as a deliberate scheme. But now...
Only when a new
We know
member
it's
is
possible.
inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed.
Oh, that's...
Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty.
That's essentially just a... like... Not, that's beyond a supermajority. That's essentially everyone agreeing except for, like... maybe a
Barring
couple
that,
people
we must wait until
who just
we
say no
return
regardless.
to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
Okay.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world. reborn into another form.
So, you know that there was, like, the progenitor, whatever people, and their souls got split.
Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
You don't even fucking know, Monteshane. You don't even know all that I have experienced and how that is relevant. Oh no. The ink bottle got left behind.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Friends?
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Why was that such a ominous cackle? Haha, your pursuits wherever they take you. Oh shit. Huh. So is that like the crafting or gather quest, I bet? Definitely not evil at all. Nah, he seems cool. Well, Skolak Monteshane is best known for his role as head of the Studium. He is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease in which he weaves extraordinarily complex and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. And you, Alize? Some of my earliest memories are of Scholark Monteshane, actually. He was a close friend to our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with paper and ink. It's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the Studium in the first place. Giving me much to mull over, I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the forum's true motives, and the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more indebted than before. I've a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let us head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Alipos as the Scholark suggested. Oh, while I share our findings with Raha. Yeah, let me see. What level do I have to be for this? Level 80? And is it Disciple of the Hand? I just got my, I just want to see. Ooh, I can't take it, actually. So I got my fondness up to 80. Ayo. But not now. It's just level 80 scripts gear of the highest eye level. I just want to listen to music. I'll walk. Crafting odd. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like it's more fun if you actually can make stuff you want. Estinian! Having spent most of the time in Thavner, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. Estinian returned not long after we departed for the studium. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the Skullark. Or perhaps not. You better not let your guard down around Key. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search for a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace for your usual heroic antics, and as the Skarlock said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. Oh, you met Estinian? Right. I'm glad you're finding joy in meeting these characters that become main players later. Seems I've done an adequate job of relaying Skullark Monteshane's lecture to Raha. Given his experiences in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble of understanding it. Estinian's cool. Ah, welcome back, and from what I hear, your trip to the studium proved most educational? While you were away, I received words from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. Beep Graha. So, the time has come for us to go on the offensive? It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Shrug. Tablet keyboard already nice. I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vitra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I'd like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await the word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With any luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa Lominsa. If you learn aught of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to aid our cause, though I fear that will be precious little given the circumstances. We gotta go to Limsa. Oh, pretty far. Oh, here you go. 8th rate ticket. It's right there. It's actually really convenient. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seasara and the Sultana. You're the most powerful woman in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Okay, plug there. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that this decision or discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers. It is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But, might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts, with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of Kobold, Sahagin, Ixal, and Anata have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Radzatan is given us cause to hope once more. She was never queen, she was a sultana. Ravio, this is spoilers for you, don't you know? Time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telephoroi at bay, we would dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be in the Ilsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in such short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Telephorois every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I mean, essentially, she's a queen. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Oriage observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telephoroi. There's certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'shtola's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon aether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of aether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to a larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, but what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilsabard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For honor and glory. Couldn't have put it better myself. Y'shtola, Thinkard, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision they have. Luckily, for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the sporting scales to Alamico, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabard. Rabon and Lord Aymeric are overseeing your preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Aymeric, my husband. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. I mean, Hero of Light Zora is different than non-Hero of Light Zora. So, yeah, I mean, we can't all be heroes of light. The hero of light. I have so many Ravio. I know you in NPC you like. You can't lie to me. Mage. You know, I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's being selected for the Ilsabard contingent. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? Only one. I'll admit, this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance's finest, the best of the best, the Warrior of Light, and, well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is a way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about, marching into Garlemald. I must quiz Thancred and Noriange on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? Will I need to keep my ears covered? They can be quite sensitive at times. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Estinian. If Aymeric asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the court. Hi, Aymeric. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. I like that they're refusing to talk to each other. Collaboration was never his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go, like a gaily cat swept up in a strong breeze. Aymeric, are you comparing Estinian to a gaily cat? Aymeric, I don't know if you should do that. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him. Probably. Words are meant. Ravio, how dare. That's my husband you're talking about. Ah, the Wanderer's return. You've been busy, bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those wording skills of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Undoubtedly, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly, not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. Here's the thing, Ravio. Emmerich was, like, not my top choice at first, but he grows on me. He grew on me. And, by the end of Heaven's Word, he became my hubby. But there's one who truly occupies my heart. May he rest in peace. Yes, man. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsebard, and I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you. Both of you. We meet again. Oh. Sup. Words of your exploits travel quickly. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of the Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Strange. Thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telophoroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. And though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varys and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsebard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I'm branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. I learn in... what? Law? What are you talking about, Lasser? We'll deliver your people from harm in your stead. For what it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain of it. Socioeconomic, political stuff. Just assumed he was a lawyer. Oh no, he's just a previous leader of an entire country. It's fine. I kind of ousted him of that position. We cool though. We buddies. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. All said, might I ask you to escort our friends inside? Sorry about the uprising, bro. We good? Well, we have a common enemy, so... And, like, he got tricked during his rise that I, you know, relieved him from. You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. Thanks, Boo. I know the Mimit when I develop a crush on my Final Fantasy XIV character? Are you talking about, like, Emmerich, or the person that shall not be named, or me? Me. This was not my intention. Yeah, that's the guy. It's kind of a secret, though. Oops. Oh, you're talking about Narvi? You're obsessed? I'm glad you like your character. I really like Sora, too. She's cute. But before, hey, do you have anything new to say? Oh, you do. They all do, probably. I neglected to mention earlier that we received a report from our troops that may be of interest to you. While engaged with a lunar primal, a great worm swooped down from the skies above and came to their aid. The worm, as described, was a spitting image of Tiamat. It would seem she continues to wage war against the Telophoroi. Oh, okay, just news about the war. Like Gaius, I too stand accused of Varys' murder, though I'm rather less recognizable on sight. Still, it's something to bear in mind once we reach Garlemald. So that's Gaius Belsar. The horrors he must have seen. Many of his own making, I do not doubt. Yep. With the knowledge that our allies will hold the line in our absence, we may devote our attention to the Ilsabardian front. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget there are civilians in Garlemald, too, when the only Imperials they've ever known are soldiers. See, once we've seen the contingent on its way, I'll return to my duties here in Alamigo. As many of our most capable will be traveling with you to Garlemald, we who remain will have to fight that much harder to make up the difference. But let no man say I do not welcome the challenge. This old bull isn't ready to hang up his horns yet. Oh, a gift? The place the other members of the Ilsabard contingent are gathered. The other members of the Ilsabard contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Anything new? Nope, okay. Hey, Resistance Guard, let me in. Yeah, Narve's a cutie too. I like a lot of our FC's characters and their backgrounds.
By the 12.
Oh. Oh shit. Oh. Good to see you. Oh shit. Wait, these are the guys from the job quests.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
Hey, Thancred. How you doing?
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
I see the black mages. Hi. I need that emote, actually. Oh, and that's the white mage person to talk to, I think. These are from your Bard quest. These are the guys I know best. So that looks to be... Oh, what's his name? Forton. One of the Fortomps. You unlocked Bard? Hey! You get to meet these guys a little later. The initial Bard quests are with a different guy. You get to meet these guys later. I love them. Especially this boy. He's so serious.
Indeed, which is why I'm glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Hi, Lucia.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
God, the Lalafels. Fels are silly.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must.
Hey.
I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer.
The younger brother.
We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Yeah, so this race of people, the ones with the horns, he may look like a child, but he's probably like 50 years old. Hello, Mitchell. How you doing? I love my bard boys.
Say my piece.
Oh my god, Sickard. You.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sickard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah, I think a lot of these people in the background are from the job quests. So Sickard was a part of the main story quest. He was kind of being an asshole pirate who is taking crystals from beast tribes and stuff. And he's kind of reformed now, a little. In A Realm Reborn,
Since we
these
all know
people.
how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy.
So the last group, the Bard quest people, were actually from the Heavensward and Onwards Bard quests.
Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya? The Avatar of Destruction?
I do
With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us.
I'm glad to see this gang kind of back together. It's been a while since we've
And
interacted
then
with
we might
Lise.
finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
This is great.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Oh,
Lord Emanolaine!
Emanolaine.
Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service.
Oh no, he's my least favorite of the Fortant.
Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
Your brother's a much better person than you. He's like... I like the older brother because he was kind of a dick. And then he realized he was being an asshole and he changed his ways. And I'm like, man, what a mature guy. Whereas the younger brother...
Should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
The younger brother, case in point. I dare say, your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring do.
I like how I just said it so sarcastically.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Are they?
Would that be the Shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Sense a powerful mark. Oh my god. Warriors of the Steppe.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
I'm assuming he's a guy from the, Gunbreaker quest. He's not the one I'm familiar with, though.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as the steppe is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach.
I also see a Viera. Curious. They are technically your people, but tribes want to kill each other, so...
But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Oh, Sadu.
No. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
Okay, so they're from Dalmasca, and not from the jungle. That makes sense. Dalmasca actually has, I think, 5% of their population's Viera, because they're right next to the jungle. It seems to be a common place for Viera to triumphs through.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Maxima, who stands with us today, tried to reform Garlemald from within and make peace with Joma. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
Even Sadu? I think she's just here to cause problems, though.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
He sure is. I love Sadu because
then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy.
She's so much. She's so dastardly.
To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Ooh, I mean,
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities.
He's cool. I like Maxima.
The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So, it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Oh no. So many people to talk to. I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. Oh, is it the cat man? I suppose he's had a share of unpleasant experiences with the Empires, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling we'll see him once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay's improved since we last met. Bravio, it's spoilers. We've been a part of the joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers, but for some reason this feels very different to our previous experiences. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there's already a palpable sense of camaraderie. This is extraordinary. To be in such a company, the finest our allies have to offer. With comrades such as these, we are bound to succeed. I am certain of it. Don't trust anyone covering their forehead, especially if they're lanky motherfuckers. Like, look, most Garleans are pretty dang, like, tall. Almost Ellison height. So, Lucia is in command. Regardless of her background, she's a Temple Knight through and through. I dare say her Garlean roots are all the more reason for her to lead this mission. Don't trust anyone. That's right, Bravio. Don't trust anyone in this game. Let's see, I already talked to you. So many people from so many places, I'm rather out of my element. Regardless, I am a seed seer, and will endeavor to acquaint myself accordingly. Hey, Sanson! He's from the Bard Quest. He's not a bard. Guidolo is, but Sanson, I like Sanson. Our prize has finally been recognized by the Order of Twin Adder. Naturally, Guidolo is here helping us. Whilst his ability as a bard is unmatched, I do worry about his judgment. However, you need not. I shall be keeping a close eye on him, I promise. I can't lie to you, Zora. I wasn't entirely for this whole thing when Sanson spoke to me, but if it means being your brother in arms, then who am I to pettifog? I shouldn't be so hard on him, I suppose. This bard unit is quite impressive, really. Yes, one must give credit where credit is due. Rather uncouth for one to do otherwise, after all. They're a pretty fun pair. Ingrid was the first one who taught me not to trust anyone. Yep. Hi, Sicard. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon at sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favor and gave a little something back. Often has Father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsebard contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. It seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Yazim Sep with Serena and the others. I'd say we're overdue for another adventure. It brings back memories to see so many familiar faces. We've been through so much together, good times and not so good. I expect Garlemald will be mostly the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, aye? Hi, Kokobuki. The Tlofroyes say. Let's see how they like it when they visit our destructive magics upon them. I have a feeling I'd be able to talk to these people if I had unlocked the classes. Oops. I still have some I need to go through. I cast my lot with the Populars to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories. That all may be united in common cause, but we are disparaged as a radical element. The center's looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate if I had not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all, as the world itself stands on the brink of collapse. I hold out hope that one day the dream will become reality. Hi, Emmanuelane. Well, if I'd known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems to be the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serena and Sadu of the Sep? Perhaps I should introduce myself, though I don't much like the look of the fellow with the enormous axe. Oh, Magnai's a baby. You should definitely talk to Sadu, though. She'd be really welcoming of any advances. I promise. I have close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies o'er our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall we come to call our comrades, and mayhap friends. Oh, and Marilyn is here to join us. Hello, baby girl. Are you gonna sit on my desk for the stream? Yeah. You're a good cat. Hi, Serena. How you doing? I'm glad to see you well, Zora. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red and the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced the world fell into ruin. In binding chaos she spied blackened silhouettes, and knew at once that one was yours. Yet we know not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign of great danger awaits, but whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. Oh, Ravio, Blue Mage is fun. We can maybe do some of the stuff together, because it definitely works better with, some people to help you along. Hey, Sadu. Hey, so I sent over this elf guy to flirt with you. Beat him up, okay? Thanks. I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in their ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteered to join this band at Serena's request, and if she thinks it's a worthy cause, that's reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown as strong as of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes oafish men could dream to be. Nice. Hi, Magnai. With the Maul, champions of the Nadam, and the Doltharo having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence. And I would have done so if not for my stepbrothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them unto victory, though I must tolerate the presence of this feral, Dotharly dog. As first amongst my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become stuff of legends. Sure, Magnai, sure. Okay, I think that's everyone. God. Well, the thing with Blue Mage is your moves won't expand much as you're leveling up. You have to find them. It's kind of weird. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Malja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Oh, I just talked to them all. Here you go, Serena. How you doing? We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Ah, the talismans. We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Oh, and before I forget, I have a message from Hien. Oh? In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. Interesting. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Althard, has been plagued by the towers, yet while he cannot be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yugidi labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid, will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe in the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Yes? So these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside the Twelveswood. The Elder Seer, however, has granted me special permission. She has bid me lend my magics to the people of Garlemald while learning all I can of their ways. In doing so, I will come closer to understanding myself and my place in their world, or so she says. I say it's past time our allies benefit from the power at a Seed Seer's disposal. Some bemoan that we hide our light under a bushel, and I intend to address that criticism. Here's you got something for us. Yep. Ah, them skills everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gil or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing. I know you're all thinking, why didn't they send Azar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Helfer told me was that they need someone to safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. For some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of a sun snow of all places. Well, me and my crew do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes in airships. That's a set of warning scales I spy. Not that I would know what they look like. Look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with aether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is that the right term? Anyways, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all the 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Warding scales for Ishgardian delegation, I take it? Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Emmerich. He would not have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. Odd. You have a warding scale for me too? Yep. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to ward the cold of Ilsebard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warding. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamegan quarter. God, I'm reading hard. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. Imagine reading. I know, right? Preparations? I got my armor and my lance. What more could I need? Since my arrival, I've been lax in expanding my limited wardrobe. Think we have enough time for a quick trip back to Old Charlian? I recall a rather fetching coat. This coat is quite warm, but I'll have something rather thicker for occasions like these. There's no telling how long we'll be out in the open, and we can't go starting fires willy-nilly if we want to avoid detection. If you have anything you still need to take care of, you better see to it now. Concoctions to fortify the flesh against wind and cold are commonly sold in Odon markets, though they are of dubious provenance and efficacy. 'Tis said, however, that in recent days of the Alchemist Guild hath produced a tincture capable of such a feat. Mayhap the achievements of their Thavnarian counterparts did spur them into action, that they not be put into shame. It's something of a constant refrain that we require warmer clothing. My present garb may be lacking, fur collar notwithstanding. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Ariange and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Estinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently at Well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats if only I had time to find something in my liking. Hark! Is that the cry of science in need of a tailor, I hear? Oh, hi, Tataru. But how? I have my ways. Oh, yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsebard without telling me. Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. Now, you will wear these garments I made for you, whether you like it or not. Never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion, rather the pursuit of a highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I'd never worn them myself? Oh, I did have one other thing to share. Yes, and Bloomweeda have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be running things back at the Horde quarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlene? Oh, why not? You can keep Kral company at the Baldusian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there, and I heard Igmus and Bloomweeda did a fine job carrying on in our stead while you were lying comatose. While we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. Tataru is threatening Ravio. You should be afraid of this. Estinian is. My thoughts exactly. While I am confident you won't go collapsing again because of a certain someone who shall remain nameless and isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world. If anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I got a few things to take care of and I'll make my way back to Charlene. She's blackmailed pirates and shit. Tataru's dangerous, not physically. She just has dirt on everyone. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. The pirates, they suck. Wow. Ben, so rude. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. Oh. Let's see how it looks. Okay, let me see. So I actually have a pretty good wintry set right now. Let's see. This coat look like. Not quite as cute, honestly. No, I don't want to get rid of the mushroom sauté. But certainly warm, and it's actually pretty cute. Let me, the horns stay on, though. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? It's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains into Garlemald. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you're ready to depart, I will ready the engines. On board the oh god. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Shucks. Do I want to do it in this coat or in my coat? I want to do it in my coat. It's cuter. 1 second. I need to be dressed for the weather, though. Did I dye the jacket? Yeah, I dyed the jacket itself, and then put it in my thing. In my chest. Do I have a necklace I can wear, actually? 1 second. Because I have a red version that I've been experimenting with as well. This one looks pretty cute, too. It's got a little scarf. It's all cutscenes? You're right. You were so right. Let's see. I'm gonna wear the black jacket though because Dark Knight. Let's go. Blah blah. Let's go. Oh, the one I got from Taru. Oh no, I didn't dye it. I just changed my jacket to one I like better. Pull out your popcorn.
Ilsabad, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly?
Hello, Walla Walla man. Thank you. Thank you for resubscribing. It means a lot. How are you doing? We just entered a movie. It'll be fine.
On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius.
Oh. You
The
recovered.
winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
Make sure to drink lots of water and soup. It's good for your soul.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Pumpkin
Survivors
soup.
of the Civil War, perhaps.
Pumpkin soup sounds really good. I'm more of a fan of I'm a big fan of chicken noodle and like Italian wedding, but pumpkin sounds nice and rich. And probably like packed with good shit. And very seasonal.
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
Oh? Oh, the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
Oof. How's Endwalker? I'm enjoying it,
What's
but
the plan? If me and my crew was out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
I feel like I'm still in the setup phase of a lot of things. Even though I've already done, you know, how many quests by now? 25 quests. I feel like I'm still in kind of the exposition stage, and it's a lot of movie so far. But I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment?
What the fuck, Aru?
Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position.
Yeah, he should be freezing, but like, you know, he's like those boys in college who just wear basketball shorts when it's snowing out. They don't feel the cold, they say.
Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments. And once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Arun, how old are you? You're like 50 or something, right?
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into 2 groups.
Continue. Why aren't you clicking?
The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Ah, bruh. I belong in the front lines. Also, Zora's lipstick is just reflecting all the white of the snow. Kinda silly looking. Oh, look at Thancred's coat. That looks good. Fuck. Like that.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Oh, I need to do Bosch and stuff then. For the fashion.
Ishtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks.
Not easy to please.
All right. Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. A blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
He always does.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
Oh! Coming battle, you will fight as Thancred. Okay, just gonna, you know... Good fit. Putting in those rogue levels to good use, yeah. Yeah, okay. So how's this work? My short king, look at him, he's so small. Assuming there is nothing else you wish to confirm, we may commence the mission as soon as you are ready. Okay. Let's go over it, because otherwise I will die. Oh, okay. In the coming battle, you will fight as Thancred. You have two objectives. Place explosives in the Imperial Magitech, deactivate the frontline Magitech units via the control terminal. If the guards detect and pursue you, enemy forces will become more aware of the threat you pose, as indicated by the threat awareness gauge. Okay. The gauge will gradually fill until you defeat all alerted enemies. If the gauge is completely filled, the guards will call for reinforcements and the mission will end in failure. Use swift deception to avoid detection as you go about completing your objectives. Okay. We got an infiltration mission. And exclusive actions. Success in this mission hinges on the following points. Auto and row. Swift deception renders Thancred invisible and increases his movement speed. While active enemy soldiers and Magitech will be unable to perceive Thancred's presence, even if they are within close proximity. However, it has no effect on the guard dog's acute sense of smell, and they will be able to detect Thancred regardless. Moreover, this action can only be used outside of combat. It will also be unavailable when Thancred attempts to deactivate Magitech fields or execute certain other action. Okay. I like they put the symbol. Thancred's silent takedown will instantly render a soldier unconscious. It can only be used while swift deception is in effect. Though it cannot be used on Magitech or guard dogs, utilizing silent takedown whenever possible is essential in clearing a path to your objectives. As guard dogs can detect Thancred even when swift deception is active, you can instead use a bewilderment bomb to distract them or sneak past unnoticed. Conversely, bewilderment bombs have no effect on Magitech or soldiers, so take care not to choose the right tool. Make sure to take the right tool for this situation. Ah, words. Okay, I have an idea of what I need to do. Let's
Keep your
go.
wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
I'm gonna auto go into Swift. Probably for the best. Shoot the gates. Can get messy if you're not careful. This should just clear me right past them. Oh shit. That didn't last long. See if I can get an idea of there. Doesn't see me. He's stupid. This thing should run that way. Might see me.
Must be losing my touch.
Fine. Tank stance, got it. Or mitigation, I should say. Okay, give a second for some things to reload. Take a look. You can't see through this fence, right? Yeah, we're good. Take a look around. Soon. There. That's... that guy over there. Non-issue. Here.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Hey. This is
Very
Thancred.
good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Got a person right here. Let's just do that real fast. Okay, so that's only able to attack that guy, so going right by ya. Doesn't come close enough to see right here. This is a good spot to observe. Except the camera keeps getting on stuff. Let's go around this way. Let's just incapacitate you, make this a little easier. See. We'll get you out of the way. Dog up there and a guy right there that seems to be a soldier? Okay. He can't see me, it's fine. At some point I'm gonna need to toss a thing. Threat awareness low though. So there's this guy.
Seven hells.
Got hasty notice, but it's fine. Think fast. Seven, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so they like to rush that. Let's see.
Seven hells.
Saw that? Okay, come back here. Come to this corner where I can kill you real fast, please. That way. Supposed to be stupid. Fine. They don't know I'm here. Oh, there's that guy. The magic attack are my least favorite because you can't really like get rid of them without fighting. Turn the other way. Actually, maybe I should wait a second. That thing should be coming around soon. Stay still for a second, stay still. One's noticing. Cool. Find a corner I can sit. Back here. This'll work. Okay. It's magic attack you can't undo. He goes that way, he goes that way. This actually is the time to do it. Hey, got it. Nice. First try. Easy. Easy peasy.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
I like that I had to go the long way through instead of, you know, the back way. You know, why not? I know it's to set up bombs and stuff, but based.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but... Wait! Something's coming!
Dogs!
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
Boy. I'm fighting. Okay, let's see. Need to activate my... Yeah.
Fighters! Protect the others!
Oh, okay. They're not gonna look at me? Oh, wrong one. That's fine. This is fine. Everything. Tana, goes real far. Just like dungeons, you just kind of spam this a little bit.
A brief respite, but stay alert.
I'll run. There's something better than shorts, my dude.
Keep the carriages safe.
What impeccable timing!
Handling.
Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
Handling. A gnome for Holmes. Thank you for stopping by. Congrats on unlocking Warrior.
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
We'll hold the line. I'm gonna make sure this is visible now on.
We're the only ones still struggling.
Yeah, just furthest away from me.
We put our backs into it then. I've been itching for a good scrap.
Yeah, don't look at anyone else. Look at me. Look at them. Look at me. Yeah, I can take the hits. Just keep following me. Anyone else? No? Okay. So we stop here? Y'all are... Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe they just need to be there. Not me. It doesn't have positionals. That'd be good to know if I was DPS. Yeah, that might have hurt more if I wasn't a tank. It's fine.
We're fine. I'm ready for more.
Hear that?
Conversation's going very slow.
Get to the front and turn the tide.
Tank privilege for real. Yeah, just, you know? You fuck up, you're still gonna do fine. It's fine. See? It's fine.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time.
Opinion?
The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
I mean, yeah, respect. Just kind of like...
This is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
Elise? It's a good fit.
That's Virgilia.
Very practical.
Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them.
I was wondering when you'd turn up. There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
Time to kill more? I mean, knock out more people. You know, non-lethally. You just have to say it before you get their final HP out.
We have them now! Forward!
It'd be really nice if you guys could all look at me, but...
Right! Let them have it!
Are we letting them have
As a raging
these
bull!
fists? Acne, he's gonna get hit.
That's her! Virgilia!
Do not fall behind!
That's a cool looking move.
Is everyone all right?
Die!
I get as many as possible, but...
Tremble before the sun!
May your screams fill the air!
Going. Nice going. Good job, you two. I have no idea what was going on half the time, but we did it. Oh? Non-lethal nuclear explosion. Yeah! She called non-lethally.
A worthy adversary.
I must have leveled up, but I'm digging this music.
Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
Sadu Hatun.
Oh. Can you guys see Zora's face? She's just... I'm gonna just zoom in on this for you, just just really... Poor guy. Poor guy. He likes Serena, but you know...
That was the last of them.
He shall remain maidenless.
The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan?
You know, this level up music's not really working well.
Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
Sadu and Serena, the Fools. I hope so too. Like, I like feeling bad for the guy, but still laughing.
So cold and unforgiving.
If he actually got made,
spoke Emperor Solus,
it wouldn't be funny
as
anymore.
He gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, They clung to one another for warmth. Freezing, hungry, desperate, hated. The chosen forsaken.
Look at us and all. Hey, me and Raha and I kind of match. Of course we do.
In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum?
I wonder.
Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks?
I sure wonder why.
Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed. Bitterly so.
Hey, but that aetheryte looks fucking awesome. Look at that shit. Hey! Made it to Garlemald.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Yeah, I'm digging the town. I'm digging the aesthetics here.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
So cool. Look at that. God. Hello, you two. How long have you been standing here? While you're wearing warm clothes. Go attuned to this aetheryte. Clowns. I'm very close though. Some things. Alphino and Ellie say. Yeah, that tower's ominous. Be long before we have a half-decent camp with so many helping hands. I was concerned the snow might hinder our progress, but our Ishgardian friends are used to working conditions like this. I see you guys still. Despite the obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for a purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alize and I will meet you there. Delivery Moog. Y'shtola. Yes, I'll make my way over once my head is cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we've arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. 'Tis the monstrous tower in the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Aether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mess of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses to the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Yep, that's spooky, alright. You'll be pleased to know most of the Tempered have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they had left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since then, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Although there's no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were Tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned a meeting? I will make my way there. Be a little, though keeping the doors open, I'm sure it doesn't help with the whole freezing temperatures. Regalia is in our care, along with the rest of the Tempered. Glory to Garlemald, glory to Garlemald. They still whisper in their sleep, even as they writhe in pain. Rabon taught me a lot about military strategy during exercises in the fringes. Coordinating units with wildly different capabilities, surveying and securing hostile terrain, that sort of thing. Now I have the chance to put his teachings into practice. We've asked the Ironworks members and some of our other comrades to stay with the airships. In the event we are discovered, we must ready to move them swiftly to a safer location. About you, Maxima, what do you have to say? This is all that remains of Laterum. Homes become empty husks. If this is the state of the outlying villages, I dread to think what has become of the capital. The Tempered soldiers are sleeping soundly while they undergo treatment. There are too many to attend at once, but I and the other healers will see to all eventually. Hell's bells, this place is bloody freezing. Rather be tied to a topmast in a storm than suffer this cold any longer. Anyone can want to spare a swig of rum? That'll sort me right out. You know, you really actually shouldn't be drinking alcohol. It just makes you feel like you're warmer, and you're not. Just saying, bud. Based pirate. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin. I'll drink to that.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroy's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a porxie of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
I think Y'shtola's fit.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next.
No, I'm glad he's straightforward about things. Hi, baby girl.
My smiths reckon
On
with the
desk.
right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
Yes, that is a microphone, Marilyn. Uh-huh. Are you okay? Can you please move? Thank you.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't rub your face against that, Marilyn. No. That wire's very important. Don't rub your face on it. Thank you. Cats.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rime. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
I just have a map that I can pull up. If there are any survivors, we will surely find them.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
The odd perception that Isk Guardians have lived their whole lives in the snow, but it really wasn't that bad before the calamity, and afterwards, well, I was very more than a few paces from a raging fire. This dreadful place, on the other hand, is nothing but cold, 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 and it's my understanding that Ilsabard has always been this way? Gods, can you imagine? Manolane, do better. I've never thought myself much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me all sorts of strange and distant places. With that in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. Gods be good, if it's this cold with Tataru's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when we next meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. Hey, level 88. Yay. Almost level 90. Let's go. Oh, the Evelyn Rhyme we go, but where do we even start looking for such a place? Yeah, almost 90 with this class. I have a few classes in the mid to upper 80s that I'm working on. But I want to get Dark Knight up there. Because it's Zora's canon class, even though I feel like I'm still learning to tank. I started up leveling up Paladin. And then it's about leveling all the other classes, ain't it? Thanks, Sven. I do enjoy DPS. Press button enough. Do big deeps. Yeah. I just know Dark Knight's like kind of the squishiest of the tanks. And I think I'd want one that's good for dungeons. What ho, chums? Been given something useful to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Since you ask, where to scour the Evelyn Rhyme for survivors? What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? You'd take forever to finish a job without the benefit of my expertise. Or, more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. No, I do like Dark Knight. It's pretty much a DPS tank. So that's why I need to try Sage. Probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Let's see. Actually, before we head out, I might take a very short break to refill water and stuff. Can I not? Ah, not quite. I'll just stand here then. Look for a dramatic place to look. Yeah, so I'm going to take a short break to refill water and such. I will be right back.